We are brought to you in part by the Union Street in Berwick, Nova Scotia. Recorded live here in the Annapolis Valley, this podcast is lucky enough to be on the stage of one of the country's best venues and restaurants. It has a long, lovely history of being family-owned, even has its own best-selling cookbook. Holy frig, that's unique. And did I mention it's an incredible venue? Like the best sound for your money anywhere. Suck it, Massey Hall. I said it, but that's me, not Union Street saying that. Back to them. They're incredible. Come there sometime. Come down sometime. I'll probably be there at the end of the bar talking about Massey Hall. Let's chat. Okay, successful sponsor ad, right? Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Friendly Heckler podcast. I'm Zakary Miller, I'm your host, and on this podcast, I'm interviewing all my favorite living musicians, so thanks so much for checking this out. Thanks so much for listening to all the episodes so far, if you have, and catch up if you haven't, because, well, we've got 11 episodes so far, and this is an amazing one to add to the conversations. This is a long episode, so you might want to listen in 2 parts, or listen in 4, listen in 8, I don't care, but just listen to this whole episode because I'm interviewing Aquakultre, a.k.a. Lance Sampson, a.k.a. Aquakultre, a.k.a. a man about town, and just a great guy. We go all over the place in our beautiful conversation, so get ready to get spicy, listen to some sexy, groovy tunes. Oh man, Lance has an amazing voice. So, it's a long episode, I should just jump into this, but I do want to say thanks for listening so far. Check out what we got coming up. Kim Barlow is my next guest in July 11th at the Ross Creek Annex in Canning, Nova Scotia. So mark your calendars for that. And then check out my website for ongoing things, zakarymiller.com, and you'll see more shows coming up. But also, let's get to the point here. Aquakultre.info. That's Lance's website. AQUAKULTRE.info. So, check him out too. He's got upcoming dates. He's putting out lots of music nonstop. It's beautiful, and man, he's got an incredible show coming up you'll hear more about. Okay, let me get to the episode. Here we go, folks. Please welcome to the stage, Lance Sampson, Aquakultre.
I'll try. Yeah, so thanks for having me, y'all. First time in a rural area. Is this considered rural?
Oh, yeah. Population 4,000?
Just the quick thing, actually. My last name is Sampson, and I've been doing a lot of research and a lot of work to figure out where that specific surname of mine comes from. And so I went back, I did Ancestry. I'm not jumping right into a song, I'm jumping into a story.
Please.
I went on Ancestry back when they told us that we had to stay in the house for like 80,000 years. And I was like, you know what, I really think I should dive into my family history because I want my daughter to know who her people are. Because I grew up very in shelter of who my cousins and stuff and like my actual family was, because my mother would be like, oh, that's your aunt, that's your uncle, that's your cousin.
Oh, right.
Are they? No, not really.
Okay.
Yeah, it's funny. So
A bigger family than you'd like.
Yeah. So I did that research, went back in time, and I figured out that my great-great-great-grandfather was a fellow named Joseph Sampson, and it only goes back as far as like 19-ish. And another thing is my great-great-grandfather, Daniel P. Sampson, which Joseph would be his grandfather, was the last person to be hung in the Halifax courthouse.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What for, do you know?
It was for so the charge itself, there was these 2 little boys that were found dead by a railroad, like a track out in Fairview. My great-grandfather lived like an hour and a half walk away.
Wow.
On Market Street, what it would have been called. It would have been a black community back in that time. And they found these 2 boys, and the autopsy came back and said that they were hit by the railroad. and they couldn't really figure out. They couldn't really crack the case. So my great grandfather was the bearer of being charged for a crime that he didn't commit because they just wanted to find somebody to kind of put that blame on.
Way.
Yeah. So I wanted to find out who his people were, right? And I can only go back so far. And I found out who Joseph Sampson is, and I found out that the Sampsons of Windsor, Nova Scotia, 3 Mile Plains, they're the only black Sampsons in Nova Scotia. Every other Sampson that you see or hear of, they're from Cape Breton, and they have it's with peas, Sampsons with peas, and Sampsons with oat peas. But the only black Sampsons are from Windsor, Nova Scotia. And I found out that my people, my great grandfather Joseph Sampson, could have settled up there, but that's as far as I can get. That's I don't truly know if that's where he settled, but yeah, I'm still trying to figure that.
No records after that.
No records after that. It just says that he could possibly be from Barbados, but I contacted Barbados and they're like, "There's no Sampsons up here, bah."
Oh. Did they say bye at the end?
They said, "Bah."
Nice.
You better check Cape Breton there, bah.
Yeah. You sure you're not white?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's Sampson name. Yeah.
And like there's a lot of skepticism and theories that I've had. Like maybe it was like a sailor that would have came through and kind of had relations with my great grandmother at the time, or like there was even some things like, oh, maybe she was raped. You know, that's really bad to say, but it's questions that I've had.
Well, do you feel like digging through that old ancestral stuff, like finding family records, no matter who your family is, don't you feel like it gets a little dark at certain points? How do you?
Oh yeah.
How do you get through that?
Well, that like the first things, like the dark thing at first, because I mean we always look at the black hand side of things all the time. Like, oh, the worst thing ever. Yeah. So the first thing that I went through was like, oh, maybe she kind of got, maybe something happened to her.
Yeah.
But then when I found out that there's actually Sampsons in Windsor, I was like, he actually could have moved from there and came down, and just for some reason, it says that he's from Barbados. I'm just like, that doesn't make any sense. My grandparents, my grandmother, Carolyn Sampson, is kind of on the same thing of like, I don't necessarily agree that he's from Barbados. That's just what it says on
mystery
paper.
Family member. Yeah. I know. I did the same thing. I dug through my ancestry and I went looking for a grandfather that I never knew.
Yeah.
And I had heard stories about this grandfather already, like wife beater, terrible dude, moves across the country, has 3 families possibly.
Yeah.
So of course I'm looking for cousins. I'm looking for the positive links from this possibly terrible person. And I feel like I just hit that dead end with it where I thought, why am I searching out this possibly terrible person's past?
This terrible man.
Why do I want to know my links to this bad man? Ancestry started all looping in on itself, and it just felt like, why do I want to know so much? But why does it mean so much to you for your kids?
Because, especially growing up in Nova Scotia, being of African descent in Nova Scotia, there's definitely, we're all related somehow, right? Somehow, like, I don't know what it is. I look at people, I'm like, oh, who's your people? Oh yeah, that's my uncle. Oh, yeah. It's
so
just
you're doing the same thing that your mom did to you. Eh?
Yeah,
yeah.
But I just thought it would be super important for my children to know exactly who their family is, and not just me, like being told like, hey, that's a family member, and it's not really your family member. And like just to kind of prepare them for if they ever want to have babies, make sure that ain't your cousin, please.
Okay, right. Wow, that is super considerate Nova Scotian of you. Like, that's very forward thinking.
I mean, I've had it happen in junior high. I was like,
no.
I was dating a good friend of mine.
that turned out to be a cousin?
Oh, in love, too. Like, in love. Like, in love.
Yeah.
Don't even get me started, right? Come back and find out. My mother was like, yeah, so what's her last name? I was like, oh, her last name's Johnson. She was like, yeah, that's your cousin.
No. Maybe your mom just started doing that to push you away from certain people that you didn't like. No. Guess what? That's your cousin, man. That's your cousin.
There's a lot of that, too. So to kind of tie it all together, I think your legacy is very important.
Well, you named an album legacy, eh?
Most certainly.
And that was again, leaving it behind for your kids.
Oh, yeah.
That is a wicked album to leave behind for your kids, by the way. They were very lucky.
Thank you so much.
Honestly, if I grew up and I had that album, like, yeah, that's my legacy. Have you guys heard this yet? Oh, diamond.
Yeah, it was meant to kind of to bridge, or not bridge, but like to leave something for the children to listen to if they were ever like, oh, I wonder what my dad does. To really listen to it, look into it, and really understand like who I am as a person.
Nice.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of positive messagery too in that album. So those weren't just messages you're trying to leave behind for your kids. Those are like, these are core fundamental beliefs in this family that you wanted to leave behind? Wow.
Most certainly.
Wow.
Yeah, because I mean, I find myself expressing most of how I feel and my beliefs within my music. Mm-hmm. And I mean, because I'm never really asked by my children, how do you feel about this, Dad? Or my niece and nephew, how do you feel about this, Unc? Listen to the music and find out, I guess.
Yeah, give them 20 years maybe. And then
Yeah, give them 20 years. I'll get to another story about that in a second, but to tie it all together with this song from the album Legacy, this is a song called Legacy. I'm going to do my best to try to play this guitar as great as I can. Bear with me. Strong man I am, on the surface, dying inside, emotionally, doubtfully, trying to hide carefully, explosively, telling you lies. I haven't learned to fly, but the damage is done. Trying to provide the good still die young. Flashing lights, what will they say when I'm gone? My legacy will carry on. Oh, hey, yeah, hey, yeah. My legacy. Afraid to die alone. That's why I'm trying to refine what we call a home. Cause I'm just a guy who's in love with a girl right in front of me. Cause I know that feeling will shake all the demons inside inside of me. What will they say when I'm gone? My legacy will carry on. My legacy will carry on. My legacy, my legacy, my legacy, my legacy. Thank you. If you didn't realize, that one's called Legacy.
Yeah. Do you still have to do a lot of that cheesy banter in between your sets these days?
You know, I'm not mad at it.
You know?
I'm not mad at it. I actually love it. I kind of try to take, I'm trying to build my confidence with my comedy.
Nice.
So
I feel like you're a master of it already, man. Seriously.
I do what I can. I do what I can.
I could tell from our phone call. I mean, like, yeah, we had a phone call to coordinate this, and it was brief, but it was like I knew we were gonna have a good laugh, and it was the hot sauce tasting was your idea, really.
Oh, cause one thing about me, I love chicken wings.
Okay, yeah.
I love chicken wings. Shout out to Ovo Barbecue and Aaron too, cause he knows.
Nice.
He knows your boy loves chicken wings. Any chance I can get to eat chicken wings. I mean, any restaurant or any bar or anything, anywhere I go that sells chicken wings, that's the only thing I get.
It's not even wing night here, but we made it happen just for you.
All right. I mean, I totally. I hope if everyone's not like super full, get some chicken wings and let's do this hot sauce thing together.
Oh yeah, it's
All
coming.
right?
It's coming down the line.
It's not going to be free, but if you
true.
can get a pound. Go
True,
for
until
it.
we can actually get a meat sponsor for this podcast, which I would love. Yeah, that would be amazing. Maybe Meadowbrook Meat.
Thank you so
or
much.
Old Road. Hey, Old Road. If Old Road wants to sponsor an episode, Old Road Barbecue. I'm going to throw out the sponsorships because I don't get a lot of them these days. So.
Hey, I think this is a start. There's always a start to something.
Yeah, that's true. Have you ever considered a sponsor for your album?
I mean, I try my best. I try my best to get as much free shit as I can.
You have pulled in a lot of free shit in terms of instruments and stuff for community jam spaces.
Yeah.
And we talked about the Centerline Studios is the name of the one space that you've been working out of.
Yes.
But then also for the George Dixon Center, right? You're selling T-shirts, raising money for them?
Yeah. So make some noise for the George Dixon. Make some noise for Centerline Studios. So I don't know if you guys are familiar. I'm just going to take this off right quick.
Yeah, get comfortable.
I don't know if you guys are familiar with Halifax too much, but we have a counselor down there. His name's Lindell Smith. Do we know who Lindell Smith is?
Nice.
So Lindell Smith, with the initiative and the backing of the community of Uniacke Square, started a recording studio, which is called Centerline Studios, and right out of NSCC, because Councillor Lindell Smith is also an NSCC graduate for audio recording engineering.
Wow, no way.
Yeah,
That's
he's
cool.
a very, very, very great producer. Like, I don't know if people understand.
No way. And town counselor?
Yes.
That's amazing.
That
Okay.
he knows how to get down.
Cool.
So they started a studio, and at some point the community was like, okay, we need a director of this thing, and that director, they hired a fella named Sobaz Benjamin. I don't know too much about Sobaz's background. I do know he's from the islands. I mean, I do know of Sobaz's background, but it's away from me now because I had one of these IPAs. Shout out to Brightwood.
Hello, Brightwood. Yeah, they get a lot of shout-outs on this podcast, actually.
It's beautiful. I love my IPA. So he started a studio, and then after a while, Lindell he had some children, and was like, I can't really be here to support my children through this. So went to work at the North Branch Library in Halifax, North End Halifax, and then from there became the counselor.
Wow.
So Sobaz Benjamin has been running iMove, which is an organization that that also is within that same building that Centerline Studios is in. Okay. And what Centerline Studios is basically a studio, recording studio for anybody, but particularly the community if they want to come in and record anything, vocals, if they wanted to. Well, at the time, you could only do like vocals, and they had a really, really great engineer. Still have a great engineer that works there. His name's Jordan Metro, and a CC graduate as well. Sorry.
Hey,
I'm just going to burp right in here.
That's so good. I'm so glad you broke the seal, pal. Yeah.
I don't play around.
If you didn't burp, I was going to swear, and the whole thing was going to go fucking haywire. So
listen,
I'm really glad you did.
As soon as those chicken wings get in there with the hot sauce, it's going down.
Yeah. Two more IPAs,
There's going to be some
friend.
farts going on.
Yes.
So
yes. There is. There actually is a mic under the seat.
Microphone stinks. Yeah, Sobaz has been running iMove out of that same building for, I think, close to 15 years now,
cool.
Which is basically an organization that helps at-risk youth, folks, marginalized communities and people that are at risk, like being incarcerated or in and out of the system, kind of help them with music production skills and film production skills, and teaching them those skills so they can then reintegrate themselves in finding a way to get money through those means of art.
Wow. I mean, what's that podcast that became famous of the guy in prison who started a podcast?
Who was that?
Oh, is that Out of This American Life? Can anybody at the back of the room tell me? A gentleman in prison started a podcast, and it's just gone like amazingly well.
Is he still in prison at the time?
No,
right now?
he's out now. He got pardoned.
Is he an older fella? It's not Ricky Atkinson?
No.
I got Elon Musk?
Yes, joking. Elon. No, I can't wait for that podcast in 25 years when he's finally in prison. And he's like, I didn't do it, and here's my podcast why.
Here's why.
Yeah.
The trucks did.
Why I didn't do it.
So during that time, and I used to go into Centerline Studios, and they try to get me in there to do a bunch of stuff, to like record and stuff. But when I went in there for the first time, I was just like, yeah, you can record your vocals here, and you can do anything you want. Jordan Metro's going to have you sounding beautiful, but where's the instruments? Where if I was a young cat coming through and I wanted to start a band, I couldn't come in here and play those instruments. So in my head, I was like, if I was that age, I'd want to see that. So I did a call on social media to all my friends, my artist friends, and was like, if you guys have any old instruments or anything that you want to donate, please consider donating to Centerline Studios, because this is a studio for youth, and it's basically a free of charge studio. You can go in there and use it anytime you want. You just got to book the time. So a lot of people, they were really receptive to that. We ended up getting like $6,000 in instruments.
Way to go, man.
Different instruments, electric guitars, brand new basses. We ended up getting like a custom one donated from Fender, wherever that is.
Wow. Yeah.
I mean, it's at my house now.
Yeah.
I use it.
That's awesome.
But $500 in cash, some more storage, for like storing files and stuff like that, and like brand new basses, a saxophone, violin, clarinet. So
all those instruments are separate from the instruments that you got donated for the jam space that you also opened to?
So there's so that's separate. Centerline Studios now, if you were a young cat going in there, want to start a band, any type of band or any type of sound, you could go in there and play any instrument. You can also get it recorded for free. But this one, this other one that back in, I think it was early October, I sat down with a bandmate of mine, Nathan Doucette, and we were just talking about like, yo, we need a jam space, right? Mm-hmm. And I was like, yes, we should definitely get that on the go. But in my head, I was like, why don't we create a jam space where it could be accessible for anybody, right? Cool. Anybody who wants to use it at a very affordable cost. Mind you, it's not free. We still need to keep it running.
Yeah, that's...
So, I mean, just like very, very cheap. Like if you wanted to jam for as long as you want it, $50, just as long as we can. Like, we're trying to keep it within the community, we keep it in the family.
There really aren't a lot of those in Halifax either, are there?
No, I mean, like, you can jam at Radstorm. Radstorm is kind of I'm not sure if it's provincially funded, but you can definitely go into Radstorm and jam for free anytime
Cool.
Actually, no, they do rent their spots out. They do rent, and I'm not sure what their cost is for that, but I'm just. Is it $15?
$15. That's awesome.
For what jam for 4 hours or something?
Wow, Radstorm is so cool.
But it's like
programming they put
booked
on.
to the max.
Oh, wow.
Right? It's like you can't get in there. What's it? Bus Stop Theater is another one.
Okay.
They actually charge as well. But yeah, I just want to kind of make something else, another thing that
You
people
saw a
can go
need.
to.
Yeah.
And so we ended up putting another social media blast out there. If anybody wanted to kind of support it, we ended up raising $2,500 to put a couple of months down payment on that.
That's crazy, man.
Most of the stuff that's in there, kind of it came out of my pockets, because I was just like, I'm a very let me get this and let the community use it whenever they need it. I'm very like that.
Right.
I take the bullet, man, and I could
Yeah.
afford it, so I was like, you know what, and I could write it off.
Okay, right. Charitable donation. Ha! Yeah.
There's
And you're
levels
good
to
at
this shit.
taxes.
Yeah,
You're
levels to
giving-
this. And so yeah, since November, that's been open. It's been running. There's been a few bands in there, in and out of that.
Cool.
I think I got 7 folks up there. There's rules to it and stuff, and I'm trying to get more people in there, but just more people that actually are into rehearsing regularly.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
but
Good luck.
but mainly, I'm trying to put a focus on Black youth and African Nova Scotian youth and African Nova Scotian seniors who are musicians.
Oh, wow, nice.
I'm trying to prioritize those
and
groups.
How do you get the word out to the seniors, say, in that community? Because there are a lot of them on Facebook and stuff. Is the social media aspect.
I go, well, there's a lot of older musicians within my community itself.
Yeah.
And so I would just go to them and be like, yo, this is available. If you need it, go holler at me. And they just kind of spread the word, because they're calling each other. Hey, what's up, Jim?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just having a beer here. Yeah. So, you ever heard of Lance Sampson, Aquakultre? Got this jam space, man. Yeah, just for us. So, yeah, just holler at us.
So
yeah,
they're
that's
excited, yeah.
But the CBC article, they kind of put out. I'm glad that one hit. The CBC article, they came in, they did a little interview, and they kind of messed me up a little bit.
Why? Because
Because-
it made you look really public,
Yeah, because I broke
it
it down
was a
to
free
them
space?
this thing isn't ready yet.
Oh,
So
wow.
please don't make it seem like it is.
Yeah.
And they kind of just put the batteries in and was like, yeah, this thing's available now. So I had 100 emails being like, can we get in here? And it was like, not yet.
Right. So now nobody's emailing you because they're like, oh, he's too busy.
Yeah.
No, you got a good amount of people in the space though, eh?
Yeah. There's the folks that's in there are the ones that need it.
That's incredible.
Currently. I mean, I'm still getting to the point where I'm going to get more people in there, but I just want to make sure that I prioritize certain people.
You've done more
Unfortunately, I'm sorry.
You've done more philanthropy work in 5 years than anybody I've ever met. And we're talking seniors as well. Honestly, do you mind if I ask how old you are?
I'm 30.
That's insane, man. You've done a lot by the age of 30. And how many
I mean,
records?
you guys can clap. I'm a Leo.
Yeah, they were so unimpressed. They were like, man, I donated so much money by the time I was 21.
You guys can make my head a bit bigger. I need it. I'm a second child.
How many brothers and sisters?
Oh my Lord. So on my dad's side, I'm the youngest of. I call it his litter.
Nice. Okay.
Because my dad, I don't know what it is about black men back in the 70s, but them boys got a ROM. You know what I mean? Them boys is I know somebody, a young fellow who I work with, man. He got 26 siblings.
26. Wow. And they don't even live on the same
Buddy,
farm.
they don't
or
even.
anything,
They
right?
barely
It's
even know each other. It's crazy.
You know what? There's farm families in the valley, in Annapolis Valley here, just like
Same
that.
thing?
Oh my God. Yeah, but they all live together and they all farm together. It's a little creepy. Yeah. See, when I say it like that,
they
it's creepy.
farm together, eh?
The family that farms together also has to live together. Yeah, that's.
They also
Okay, so
Never
some
mind.
people- one of 26. Yeah, they're also children of the corn. I forgot
Love
to
it.
mention that part. Yes,
Love
yeah.
it. Love it.
Yeah.
Love those guys. But yeah, I'm the youngest out of my dads. I always get it. Basically, I have 11. I have 10 siblings. One of them passed away and I never got to meet, but every single one of my siblings on my dad's side I have a relationship with. I haven't met one of them yet. His name's Craig. He's the oldest of my father's children.
Whoa, wow.
He lives in Montreal.
Okay.
I've been out there 3 times. Every single time I go out there, where you at?
He's here.
So if you're listening to this, Craig,
Damn it, Craig!
I'm tired of this shit.
Craig!
He's the only one that I haven't really met, but everybody else, actually, Craig and the other one that passed away, his name was Donnie Jr.
Oh, wow.
My father's name is Donnie Johnson, by the way.
Okay.
I haven't met him yet. Or, I can't meet Donnie Jr. It's good.
I'm so sorry.
You guys can laugh. It's
that
good.
That was really good.
It's all right. We're family. It's all right.
Yeah.
But on my mother's side, I have an older sister named Tanisha Sampson, who I live with, and my youngest brother, Brody Sampson, who is my mother's. My mother has 3 kids, which is Tanisha, me, and my brother Brody. So I got a big family.
Okay. And pretty tight. Like
Yeah,
you guys are
so
close
I
if
mean,
you're living with your siblings?
very tight on my mother's side of the family.
Yeah.
I'm not super tight with a lot of my brothers and sisters on my dad's side, but we do we communicate a lot. You know,
Do you guys have any like 1-year event where you try to get everybody together or anything?
I mean, there's definitely been attempts, but I think my dad kind of passed down a gene of like, I don't got no time for that shit.
Right. Family is secondary
Yeah.
kind of thing?
Yeah, I like.
Cool.
There's definitely has been attempts through siblings of getting everybody together,
Okay.
but I don't think my father's quite there yet in terms of like being able to sit with all of his children that he doesn't necessarily have a huge relationship with each.
Right.
You know what I mean? That could be pretty hard.
Yeah. Do you mind if I ask how old he is?
Oh fuck, he's like 67 or something like that.
Oh,
He's
wow.
old.
Yeah,
He's an
that's a
old
lot.
bastard.
That's a lot to reckon with then at the age of 67. I mean,
And he was pro boxer back in his day too.
wow, really?
Yeah.
Whoa.
I come from a long line of boxers.
I can see it, dude. You're built like a boxer. Your shoulders intimidate me.
like a horse.
Like a what?
Like a horse.
Yeah, like a Clydesdale, man. You're fucking. Yeah,
I mean,
honestly, that guitar, I've never seen anybody cover all 3 bottom strings with just their thumbs. So
You saw that?
yeah, dude. I was like, how is that thing gonna survive the night? Yeah.
It's the neck. It has nothing to do with my hands. It's all the neck.
Do you want to play me another one actually while we're on
Yeah,
the
sure.
topic
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah,
manhandling
sure.
that little thing?
Yeah, we'll get another one on the go here.
And now, like for the listener at home, you can't see this, but Lance has very large thumbs that cover the guitar. But the audience can see that is a positive thumbs up. When Lance gives a thumbs up, the whole world knows.
When Lance gives a thumbs up, you know he's drunk. I'm just joking. To kind of give you a little bit, yeah. So that last song was called Legacy. Very dear to my heart. This next one is off the same album. This next one's called Open Your Eyes.
Beautiful.
This was hold on, give me a sec.
That's real.
Yeah. that was a Tourette, you know, like a what do you call them? Like a
spasm?
Yeah, spasm. Yeah, so this next one's called Open Your Eyes, and it was a song that I wrote when my daughter Georgina was born. It was about 3 months after she was born, and my wife Julia and my daughter Georgina were sitting on the couch. Yes, coach.
I love the way you say it.
It's not couch. And I just kind of I just got inspiration from that, and I had the guitar in my hand at the time. And I'm a very when I write songs, it's very 1-chorded, 2-chorded, very simple stuff.
Yeah.
And I just found this riff, and as I was going back and forth from the riff, I just kept on looking at my wife and daughter, and the words just kept on coming. The words, the inspiration was just there, and I just kept on writing stuff down, and ended up coming up with this track called Open Your Eyes. I always have a hard time with it, though, for some reason.
Like it makes you emotional?
No, I just can't sing.
No, fuck you. Yes, you can.
Yeah. Let's take a swig on that, shall we? If you got any.
Oh my God.
This is fun, Zach. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Lance.
It was morning as I'm trying to fix my coffee. I hear the phone ring. A woman's voice saying, "How you doing, Mr. Sampson?" In a long time, sounds like good news. Set the table, and I'll be there as long as I'm able, till we're old and gray or disabled. Your beauty lights up the room. In the beginning, feels like you can't shake 'em. Oh, don't waste a minute trying to chase what you couldn't have. There's good love in them kisses. You just gotta open your eyes. And no one told me about the give and takes of being in love. And no one told me that you bleed before you find the one. And no one told me how to love before I'm dead and gone. I had to learn it on my own. We got the universe working overtime. Whoa. And we ain't got no qualms. We lose life every day, but we brought life into ours. Our firstborn, we had a miscarriage, so just so you know, that's what that's about. 'Cause I've been 2 weeks, no job. Trying to get out of bed for me has been a full-time job. I can't keep up with credit cards, but I won't stop. My baby just got good news. Whoa, in the beginning, it feels like you can't shake 'em. Oh, don't waste a minute trying to chase what you couldn't have. There's good love in them kisses. You just gotta open your eyes. You just gotta open your eyes. Open your eyes. Open your eyes. Just gotta open
I know what an Owen Wilson reaction that was. I'm so sorry. Wow. I'm so sorry.
Wow.
But shit, man, thanks for getting really personal, too. And taking the break in the middle of the song to even, like, that's really personal.
Yeah, that one, yeah, it was very interesting when we had, like, when we were trying.
How long were you trying for?
Fuck, not long.
So hard to call it trying?
Your boy got good seeds.
Yeah, they're all boxers, man. They're fighting to get in there.
Them boys going right through them eggs.
Jesus.
Yeah, we were definitely trying. And,
Okay.
we ended up getting through, and this is why an interesting thing too. Like I understand why it's so important to kind of not really let people know what's going on in the first 3 months.
Yeah, but you can't suffer in silence.
Well, I mean, in just in terms of like letting people know that you're pregnant
Right.
within the first 3 months.
But why is that? Why is
Because
that?
you might have a miscarriage.
But, okay, right.
You know what I mean? You got
Yeah, but you do not want to disappoint them, or is it because you don't want to? Is it the stigma?
Well, I think it's. I mean, it might be some superstition stuff, but it's just like the doctor kind of just tells you, listen, within the first 3 months, just kind of keep it under wraps because this is the 3 months that could really. You guys can go through the next trimester, or you can literally stuff can happen. It's normal.
Yeah, exactly. Like nobody talks about that.
It's so normal, like it happens all the time. But it's really hard. Like, say if we found out that we were pregnant, and then all of a sudden you're telling every single person, and then 2 weeks later you have a miscarriage.
Yeah.
Right. It's just like, okay, we're sitting with that grief, but also we just told everybody that we're having a baby. Now we got to go and tell them that we didn't. Like, and you're just repeating that thing. So just keep it under wraps for the first 3 months, and when you get past that, like I said, I mean, stuff can happen after those 3 months too. But it's just more. It could happen more. It can happen. I'm not. Odds are better.
There you go.
Mother knows what time it is. You know what I mean? I'm just a dad over here.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't gotta go through this shit.
I love that there's two guys on stage being like, wait, hold on. So you don't want to tell anyone that you're pregnant?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But then how long before you guys actually had your first child?
So that happened, and man, Jules was definitely going through it. Like, there was like a lot of like constant like blood loss happening within. So like it happened, and like it was maybe like 3 or 4 months of like just a constant like menstrual cycle. It seemed like it just like always. And we just didn't really kind of know like what was happening, if there was like any complications, could we have another, and then. Once the bleeding stopped, we was like, let's go. Let's try it again.
Right, like classic male.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Right?
My dad was a horny bastard. I am horny, but I'm like, listen, babe, you let me know when you're ready.
You boxers are all the same. I'm always ready for another fight. Actually, I should ask.
What's up?
Is the George Dixon Center significant to you, not only because it's like an awesome community center, but because he was a boxer?
So so George Dixon, I don't want to get his year wrong. I feel like he was born 1870. His birthday was July 26th.
Whoa, you're Rain Manning right now. Go
right, all right. Because my birthday is July 31st, so I kind of.
Oh, it's important.
It's important.
Cool.
But George Dixon is a very interesting and important character in boxing in particular, because he helped and shaped what shadow boxing is today.
Crazy.
Make some noise for that, please.
Yes. George Dixon, he will definitely listen to this episode from the grave, and he'll appreciate the fact that you clapped.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people that I grew up with in my community and other black communities in Nova Scotia that are actually directly related to George Dixon.
Wow.
Through like just because he was spreading them seeds around.
Boxers again, man. I'm gonna say it. Boxers are all alike.
He was just going for it. So, and boxing runs in my family. So my my grandmother's brother, his name was. Tiger Warrington, who was actually in the Nova Scotia Hall of Fame.
Wow, for boxing?
For boxing, yeah.
Wow.
And he taught my father Donnie Johnson, and my father taught 3 of his sons how to box. One of them, Tristan Johnson, became pro as well.
Wow.
Yeah, and so George Dixon, and very funnily enough, like I don't know if too many people know this because I didn't know this. So growing up, my grandmother would call the field that George Dixon sits on, would call it the dummy field.
The dummy field?
The dummy field, right?
Why?
I'm like, why are you calling it the dummy field? It's the George Dixon field. What are you talking about? She's like, oh, it's just the dummy field. So I'm looking into it. I find out, and not even looking into it when my grandmother told me that, just looking into that quite recently, and found out that the George Dixon Center was built on top of, or was a piece of it was a school for the deaf and
right.
dumb, they would call it.
Wow.
A school for the deaf and dumb.
So all the kids walking by called that the dummy field.
Yeah, cuz
That's crazy.
ignorant bastards.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, we're all just current, right?
My Lord. So I'm just like, okay. And then when I grew up and kind of started getting into the history itself, and I asked my my grandmother Carolyn, like, why, like, when was that school a thing? Like, when was that a thing? Oh, it was around when I was younger, and like it kind of got demolished when your mother was born, and just that generation just continued to call it the dummy field. Still calls it the dummy field to this day.
Not the George Dixon field, which sounds a lot better.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so George Dixon does have some significance to you because of the boxing.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, and just how historic he is to the world.
Yeah, well, he was the first black world champ boxer too, right?
Yep.
That's insane. Went over to England and beat their so-called champs over there. That's awesome. Yeah.
From his parents. His parents were from Africville, Nova Scotia.
Okay, can we talk about another crazy Africville thing that I heard you say once?
What's up? Hold on, let me get this out of here.
That Duke Ellington's wife is from Africville?
Yes, Duke Ellington's wife is a Dixon.
Shit, dude. Are you serious?
Yes.
That is crazy.
Yeah, so Duke Ellington, okay, so very interesting thing about Africville. So any like very, very prominent black musician, African-American musician who would come down to Nova Scotia, like the first thing that they would ask is like, where's all the black people at? And everyone would tell them, you got to go down to Africville. So wow. Duke Ellington would frequently come to Africville. Like that was his spot. And he met his wife. I want to say her name was Elizabeth Dixon.
Wow, I think you're right, yeah. Wow.
I think, and I might be confusing that also. If you're fact checking, that's awesome.
No, I love Duke so much, but I just heard that in passing. I was like, no way.
Yeah.
Too cool.
Yeah, and he actually has a song. Or I shouldn't say a song, but more like a composition of his wife, which I'm probably getting it wrong, but let's just say it is her name, Elizabeth Dixon. I know for sure that she's a Dixon, but her mother, he wrote like a composition for her, and like it's on one of his albums.
Oh, that's amazing. I'm going to dig and find this.
Oh, man.
I will put it out online too on my socials and stuff too, because this is fascinating history for Africville.
It's super, super rich history down there, musically. And there's like, I have a friend of mine, his name's, oh my God, it's defeating me right now, but his nickname is Worm.
Worm?
Yeah, Worm.
Okay.
We call him Big Perm Worm.
Big Perm Worm. Okay.
He was a football player who went to law school, and his his last paper that he had to write, that he wrote, was specifically for like the demolition of Africville and like kind of what was surrounding that.
Wow.
And like through his research, I don't necessarily know if it's true or not, but like I remember I was sitting with him and talking to him. I was on the street handing out T-shirts because I'm a salesman. I used to sell a lot of drugs back in the day. I got to sell something.
Yeah, well, T-shirts were perfect packaging.
You know what I'm saying, right? You can sell them just as much as a crack for a stone, so why not? So he basically was like, a big reason why they kind of wanted to get rid of that specific neighborhood is because it was the mecca of like jazz music, like jazz musicians coming down. Anybody who was like a black prominent figure, they would all spend their money down Africville. Like they wouldn't go downtown Halifax, or they wouldn't go down like Spring Garden or anything. They wouldn't go into any of those businesses. They would bring all their money and spend it in Africville. A big thing within the municipalities and in the councilors' eyes was like, well, they're like, all the money's getting put down there. We got to do something about it. You know what I mean? And it's not necessarily, and that coupled with the fact that they wanted to build a bridge there.
Yeah.
There's just like a lot of stuff, and like his addition to that, of like that thing of like the kind of hush talks about, oh, they're spending too much money, then we got to get rid of them. That coupled with the bridge, and just like the key land that is. If you really looked at it, if you really had houses down there to this day, those houses will be worth millions of dollars.
Right.
Just because of where it's at.
Yeah.
Oh man, because you go down Spring. Listen, anybody who's been down South End, them houses are whacking.
That's crazy.
Whacking, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I
like 18
listen.
bedroom houses.
I just wish somebody would let me in their house down there. Hey, what's up, brother? You want to come in and have a drink? Yes, I would love to.
You tell me you haven't gotten an invite to like a private house show or anything at one of those houses?
No, they won't kill me.
Yeah, not yet, but all of those listeners in the south end of Halifax might be interested.
You guys won't kill me down there.
Right, yeah.
You guys won't leave me in a basement.
The get out scenario down in the south end is, yeah, that's what you're calling us.
I'm scared to death.
This is amazing.
I'm just joking. I got all kind of people down there.
Thank you for going there, though, because I wanted to. But what is this? Actually, now that I think about it, what's the strangest gig you've ever played? Because I imagine, like, I know award shows and stuff put you in some weird corners of hotels and stuff sometimes. But what's the strangest gig you've ever played?
There was a friend of mine who has been like my sound technician for a long time. Their name is Tynan Dunfield.
Cool.
Shout out to St. Stephen's.
Nice.
That's my boys. My boys. Yeah, so Tynan, since day one, has showed a lot of love to me. And I always hold the folks dear to me that always extend that hand to me, and like they're with me forever, right?
Nice.
I always say that you guys are protected forever. Anybody who really extends that hand. So Tynan has a friend, or a bandmate and a best friend named Babette Hayward, I think their last name is.
Okay.
And Babette has a sister who is married to a heart surgeon, and they own a lot of land and a farm. I can't remember where it is, but it's like at the end of a long dirt road.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, they're killing us tonight, I'll tell you right now.
You really?
I'm dying tonight.
Halfway up the road?
But they call it the Black Barn. The Black Barn, and this Black Barn is like they got livestock there. They raise their cattle, they raise their everything, and they kind of go to the markets and sell their stuff. And they do like a little mini festival every now and then.
Okay.
Party animals, right?
Yeah.
I was like, let's just get a bunch of artists out here, and let's just have sex all night.
Oh, no way. No way. You showed up to an Eyes Wide Shut party?
I'm just joshing you.
Okay. I was going to say, is that how they offered to pay you? Like,
no. They're
great show, but I'm going to need a little extra?
No, they weren't asking that. They just definitely seemed like they like getting it in.
Getting it in?
Which is fine. I like it too.
I definitely prefer that to getting it out. That's
you know what I'm
for
saying.
sure.
You know what I'm saying.
Yes.
So yeah, it was actually in a barn. They call it was the band at the time, which is the Legacy Band, we like to call it.
Okay.
Nathan Doucette, Nick Dorado, Jeremy Costello. We went out there with all of our partners, and we basically did a show in a barn with a lot of hay around. And
Anyone allergic?
There was a lot of hay fever going on.
Okay, that's a rough gig if
Like
you're allergic.
my wife, Julia was like sick the next morning. Jess Ross was sick the next morning. I definitely was something going on.
Yeah, you guys picked up something from like the sheep that you're playing beside. Probably.
Yeah, there was a goose that chased me the next morning. It was crazy.
Okay, so that's a weird gig.
Yeah, it was pretty odd.
That would be your first rural gig then, eh?
That would have been the first rural gig.
Okay, so this is number 2. This is your second rural gig.
Yeah, but I mean, compared to a lot of the horror stories that I've been told by other folks, like that's not that bad. But it was probably the oddest one that I've been in.
That's a good odd. That's a safe odd.
Yeah.
As scary as it sounds going
I'm
up
trying to
so far.
think if there's any. We got chicken wings.
Hey now, okay, we're doing the hot sauce tasting. Thank you.
Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, how about a hand for Andy?
Shout out to
Bringing
Andy.
out the wings, doing some sound. Okay, all right.
We don't have to get into them right away, but that was that's probably the odd. I'm trying to think if there was any other ones. Not off the cuff.
Can we get the ramekins with the hot sauce in them?
Thank you, my friend. That's probably the oddest one that I could think of off the cuff.
Do you want to play me one more song before we get our fingers all nice and spicy?
Yeah.
It's that kind of night. It's Friday night. This is the first time we've done a show on a Friday night, too, so thank you for bringing the Friday.
Thank you for accommodating.
Yeah, are you kidding? Can I burp on the microphone? I'm there. That was our agreement.
Did anybody else order chicken wings, or are you guys just going to leave us hanging?
Okay, well, this is great. We're going to do...
I expected more from you.
Hot sauce on the table, so everybody should feel inclined to taste hot sauce with us. I think that's the general idea.
I also kind of said that I might do a new song, but that's not happening tonight.
No? Yeah. No.
I forgot my lyrics.
That's okay.
So I apologize.
What do you want to play before we get spicy?
Let's see. What am I playing next? How much songs do I got to play? Because I only got like 5.
5.
Okay. So I did some legacy stuff. Yeah, so, I got a couple sexy ones. You guys into some sexy ones?
It's sexy time.
Yeah. I don't know how to play Don't Trip on the guitar. I honestly, Don't Trip, and I'm going to keep it real with you, Don't Trip is so hard for me to perform. Who said that? Yes. Yeah, my friend, yes. Thank you for pointing that out. Don't Trip, I love Don't Trip. But, it is so hard for me to do. Mainly because, I'm a very bad, when I write stuff, I don't really know how it is I'm going to perform. I don't know if I'm going to perform it properly. I just, in my head, I'm like, oh, I can do this. And it took me a while to record that. And, when I try to translate it on stage, I'm going to get there. I've been doing a lot of work to make sure that I can actually perform it properly on stage. But it's actually very hard for me to perform.
There's a lot of guest stars on that whole album, too, right?
So man, we'll get into that in a sec.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to get into a sexy one.
I'm pointing into the audience because we have Judy Harris here.
Judy's here.
And I might ask you to come up sometime. You'll just get your own episode. How about that, Judy?
Judankwe.
I'm here. I will burp on the mic.
Well, geez. Might have to delete this whole episode then and just record Judy's.
So this one actually is a shout out to Tynan because Tynan, this is a song that me and Tynan, the first song that we've ever done was this song. It's called Closure. Tynan recorded it, engineered it, helped with the co-production of it, and it's called Closure. It's very sexy. It's another one that's kind of hard for me to do, but I'm going to try. The chicken wings are just smelling too good. Let me get comfortable because it's, it's one of those ones.
That's really comfortable.
Yeah. Oh, reverb? Ooh, yeah. Closure. Every time we get a little closer, I can taste your body, smell your odor. But don't worry, darling, it's clean. Oh, yes, it is. Shawty, let me break you down. The game we playing, it get kind of physical. Let me tell take my time to get the rhythm now. Got me sweating something like a fiend. Oh, yes, it did. Oh, yes, it did. I said, baby, lately I've been getting kind of crazy. The way you're looking at me, I know you're the gateway. I'll be your protection, fuck a safe way. Baby, fuck a safe way. Sober. She let me put my kids up on a sofa. The way that body shape it is a roller coaster. Got me falling right on my seat. Oh, yes, it did. Darling, I ain't never seen that's on a woman that can remedy me. Oh, I said there's something about a sex appeal. Oh, make me wanna cook her something to eat. Oh, yes, it did. Oh, yes, it did. I said, baby, and I know I've been getting kinda crazy. The way you're looking at me, I know you're the gateway. I'll be your protection, fuck a safe way. Baby, fuck a safe way. Goddamn, goddamn, goddamn. I'll be your protection, fuck a safe way. I'm trying to get it. As you can see, I'm trying to really splash it. You guys got me on 10 IPAs up here, so I'll get it on the next try. That one's called Closure. It's kind of sexy. It's
Kind of.
It's like serious baby making music.
I'd say a lot of your music is baby making music.
Yeah,
man.
it's no condom music.
Oh, whoa.
That's what I like to call it.
But it encourages safe sex regardless.
If that's what you're into.
Yeah, yep. See, I'm into the like I'd love to make babies, but without the actual babies part. So, do you have an album for me?
Yeah, it's called Don't Trip.
Yeah, the same album. No, it's such a good album, man. I'm gonna jump in.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm ready. We're gonna do a hot sauce tasting now. You guys ready for that? Does anyone have hot sauce they want to try with us? If you're listening at home, go to your fridge, grab the oldest bottle of hot sauce you have, and pour it out on your plate.
How do we
find
know
whatever bread you have?
How do we know which one is which?
So the one closest to you should be kind of orangey.
Yeah.
Yep. So that is Ripple Rock from Nurple. So
All
that's
right.
the first
Shout out to
one
Nerp.
I'm
Shout out to
gonna
Nerp.
try.
Shout out to Nerp.
Nerp.
The purple Nurple.
That was the idea behind the name. They wanted it to be like, we're so spicy that we twist your nipples.
I met him too.
Yeah?
Was that like oh, that's kind of spicy.
That's really good. It's like, you think is that too spicy for you?
No, fuck no.
It's really easy going.
It's got some spice to it.
These are good wings, Union Street.
Shout out to Union Street Wangs.
Wow. I might come here just for the wings.
My Lord Savior.
Wow.
I'm just
That's
chewing
really
right.
good.
I'm chewing right in the microphone, dude.
That's good. I think there's a lot of freaks out there who want this content.
So like, it's like it does have a little kick to it.
Yeah, Ripple Rock.
Ripple Rock has like does it say like what type of tones it got in there?
You know what? Do we have it? Yeah, it's right here. Ripple Rock was an underwater mountain located in Strait outside of Vancouver. That's a grammatical mistake. This invisible mountain would cause havoc to ships transiting the strait. The underwater mountain prompted the Canadian government to blow it up on the 5th of April, 1958.
But actually, it's just kind of hot, though.
Yeah. Is it blowing up your underwater mountain right now? Because yeah, the sound of a
Closure. Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of. Okay,
That's the first one?
Yeah.
This is not even in, like, any particular order. Like, we ain't going from hot to hot. Like, we're not going from mild to wild.
No, I didn't put it. Well, I put it in kind of an order. I put the mustard one in between.
WTF.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
Shit. Okay, so for the listener, Lance is squinting pretty hard right now, but smiling and looking. Okay, I'm going to move to the next one, which is this is Maritime Madness's mustard pickle secret weapon hot sauce. This one sounds good. Actually, both hot sauce companies gave me like mustard pickle or a zippy dill pickle hot sauce.
So another question is, how many?
Oh, that's good. This one's good.
Who
man.
likes flats? Who's a flat person? Christ, you guys,
Like
everybody
flats of
vegetarians
eggs?
in here?
Like a flat
The
white?
flat wang. Who likes the flats better? Christ, I ain't getting no feedback.
See, there's a lot of chicken farmers around here, so they're like, do you mean the thigh or do you mean the upper dorsimus of the thigh?
I forgot that there's farmers in the building.
I don't think any farmers actually come out at Friday night shows. Any farmers in the house? Nope, didn't think so. You can say whatever you want, man.
I love you.
I love you too. Yeah, these are good wings.
Yo, that one is nice.
The mustard pickle?
Yeah, that is nice. But I like...
It's easy going. Did you just go back to the Nurple?
No.
Okay, I thought you were like, I need the heat again.
No, the Nurple's over there.
Okay, so the third sauce that we're going to get into, this is a secret weapon that I was hinting at earlier. The third sauce that we're going to try is made by our one and only Andy Baumer.
Shout out to Andy.
Andy's put together a concoction he calls Slow Burn.
Yeah, it is pretty hot. Does anybody want to try any of this? No? Joe?
Joseph? There's a gentleman sitting in the front row, and his whole family is pressuring him into trying hot sauce right now. Yeah,
Joe,
go for it. Go,
get
Joe.
your ass up there, Joe.
Joe, don't be a wussy about it. Get up there.
Make the family proud, Joe.
Joe. Oh, yeah. Here, you can take a wing.
Yeah, Joe is in the building for those
No
that
problem.
are listening. We got a local in the building.
I'm going to try Andy's crazy hot sauce, which is the third
Cheers,
one
my
in the
friend.
list here. Whoa, you guys choose wings. Never have I ever
Me and
seen
Joe
that.
go way back.
That's the first on stage. How far
Chiropractor.
back do you guys go?
So, hold on.
What are you eating right now, by the way? Is this Andy's?
That's Andy's.
This is Slow Burn?
So good, cuz. So
This
good.
is
Can I take
really
it home?
good.
Yes.
This one's like sweet up front almost. Like there's this like a citrusy thing that happens, and then it comes. Whoa.
There's something going on.
You're eating past it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, yeah, me and Joe, back when Joe was in film school.
Oh, film major.
Yeah. And a CC graduate. There's also someone else in the crowd, too, who's also in that class, Connor. What's up, Connor?
Are you sponsored by NSCC yet, or?
Actually, they shouted me out at the EC, like, they did like an NSCC alumni ECMA post. There was like 10 of us on there. Like, shout out to the alumni. You guys are doing great.
like thanks for paying us. So glad you're still alive, kind of thing.
I mean, I got my school paid for.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah, I'm OG.
But I notice a lot of community colleges do that. Like, hey, your program's basically non-existent now, but thanks for the money.
Yeah.
See
They
you
like
down the
they
road.
like to email you every year, be like, actually, no, I don't think NSCC does that thing of like, oh, can you donate to us?
Oh, good.
I know like Kings does, Dow and SMU they do.
What? Those schools have like giant banks that they're sitting on, don't they?
Yeah.
Twice a year. The nerve of those places.
Built on the backs of slavery. I'm not gonna get there.
Yeah. No, let's go there. I hate all institutions like that, especially
Built on
universities.
the back of blacks.
Yeah. Let's call it Kings and celebrate our whiteness. Yes.
To back the truck up, so Joe and Connor, who's also in the building, they had to do like I think maybe it was like end of the year project or something like that. First semester, second year, they were like, "Fuck, you know what? We should do a music video." And then they're like, "Yeah, there's this hip hop group in the city called Aquasocks. Maybe we should do their video." And we brought the whole family out. Georgina was there.
What video is this?
Trump Tight by Aquasocks.
That's amazing. And Aquasocks is the Ghetto Socks Aquakultre duo.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, a lot of bars going on in there.
That's amazing.
When it's locked, it's a go.
Okay. Yeah.
And I go all in.
You have no choice.
These chains couldn't keep a brother in a restriction. 4 kings, a challenge I can invest in, but there's one me, only 2 hands and 2 feet, and 2 eyes, but that's going. My vision I can't see. My sense is listen before you speak. That virtue was whack, but who's really paying attention? I wish the internet was flesh so I can make it bleed.
Nice. You still have that in your brain, eh?
Those are bars, cuz.
You got a good. Do you have a good memory?
I have a good memory for my own stuff.
Okay.
I don't have a solid memory. I can't, I'm very, sorry.
Were you you weren't the kind of kid reciting other people's verses when you were a kid?
No, because I find it really hard to learn other people's stuff. Like, I find that very difficult. Like, someone's like, oh, can you do background vocals for me or something? I'm like, yeah, if there's a certain part. But, like, if you want me to actually sing, like, a whole someone else's song, I find it's really hard for me to, like, find the time to really figure that out.
Has that changed since you started taking vocal lessons?
No.
What?
No. So,
how have vocal lessons been, though?
they've been eye-opening. They've also changed the way I write.
Oh.
Yeah.
How so?
Like, so I also rap. I'm kind of double.
Yeah.
I rap and I sing when I rap. So, okay, first of all, to kind of break it down, I got a arts equity grant, Nova Scotia Arts Equity, to do vocal lessons.
That's awesome. That's like very cool.
You might not know it today, but
No, I told you can sing.
I've been taking classical lessons. And, oh yeah, we're going to get into it. I need a pee bad, though.
Go for it. We can take a break.
Are you sure?
Yeah, go for it.
Where's the bathroom? Okay, listen. We're going to take a break right quick. Please order chicken wings so we can do this together. I'm going to come back really quickly. My bladder's on fire, but I want to tell you guys my journey with vocal lessons in a second.
Give a round of applause for Lance. That kind of honesty on stage needs to be celebrated, friends. In fact, I think we should normalize the musician going to the bathroom in the middle of the set and telling everybody about it. That should be normalized. Plus, this also gives me an opportunity to check in with you guys. How are you? Good? Good? Awesome. I got wet naps, so if anyone does want to try the hot sauce, you can actually clean your hands afterwards. Did you put your hand up as if you want to try the hot sauce? Come on up. Come on. That's my wife, ladies and gentlemen. So obviously I've established a really good working relationship with my partner. She's not as comfortable with the stage as I am. Don't worry, I'll bring hot sauce home, honey. How about that? And we'll pop on Closure and we'll talk about it. Just kidding. I'm so sorry. Okay. Seriously, this hot sauce is really hot, and I can't believe I'm eating this in front of people right now. Never have I put myself through such pain. That being said, I am about to enter in this Canada Day. People can bid on a chance to throw a pie at my face at the Burlington Community Hall. So if you want to throw a pie in this face, show up July 1st at the Burlington Hall, and I'll be there. Now back to regularly scheduled programming.
Thank you. Bladder is on fire. I want to stop eating these chicken wings before I explode on this stage. So yeah, I got an arts equity grant with the help of my friend Graham Scott.
Cool.
Who is the MD for the musical that we're working on with Tubi Theater as well.
Yeah, so you put together a musical that you're working on right now, or you just started? You're in pre-production.
We're in pre-production. It's in development. We wrote 10 songs for it so far. We did a work in progress showing like April 5th, 6th, and 7th.
So this isn't a musical about your songs, is it about your life?
Yeah, my experiences.
Wow.
Because I'm a very anecdotal person, and I like to kind of break barriers with like stories that things that I've been through.
Yeah.
To kind of like make people feel comfortable with who I am as a person, but also make people feel comfortable with who they are themselves.
Nice.
So like if someone feels kind of like, oh yeah, I just tell them a story about something I've been through, and it kind of just breaks down the thing. Oh yeah. So a lot of this To Be Theater show is, it's my experiences and how music has truly shaped those experiences and even helped to give light to other people through my experiences, and also to kind of break down the stigma of the prison system itself.
Nice.
Yeah, because not a lot of people have been to prison, such as myself. I have been, and it's a very tough place, but there's so many good people in the prison system that just find themselves like there. There's definitely a lot of dangerous motherfuckers that should be in there.
Right.
But I tend to find the good in a lot of people, in everybody. And unless, if you're not out there like assaulting children, then we can get to know each other. You know what I'm saying? Assaulting children or women, we can get to know each other. And I just want to, there's a lot of stigma behind it. And my experiences through that system is not what most people might think.
Right.
So this theater show is really kind of touching on my experiences and kind of breaking that thing of like that question of like, oh, okay, actually it's not so bad in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because
sometimes people just need to sit down. They just need to sit down and chill and really think about their life. And that's kind of my experience. I just really needed that time to sit and chill. And I just met so many great people within that system.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you want to give back to that system a little bit, and to those unsung heroes, maybe, or those unsung people that.
I just want to make people understand that it's not that bad.
Yeah. Well, because so many people go through the system, and that you might not even know in your daily life that you meet. So it makes sense.
Yeah, a big thing I would do is because I'm very fortunate to be as big as I am. So,
right. So your big thumbs came in handy.
Yeah, people didn't really mess with me as much in there.
Okay, good.
But like a lot of people who weren't as fortunate would come through, and they would if I wasn't around, they would get bullied or like picked on, right? So a big thing what I did is most people, like new people coming in, I'd be like, okay, you're with me, and I'm going to teach you how to get through this.
Wow.
And I'm going to be a human to human with you, not necessarily, you don't have to be this like big macho, like following the politics type person. You can actually do your time very well and make the time, or you do the time. Don't let the time do you, basically. So there's a lot of folks I'd just be like, okay, you're hanging with me. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of my homies would be like, yeah, you always had some strange white guy with you.
Like some squirrely little guy?
Well, if I didn't have him with me, then you'd probably beat him up. So,
do you do that in lots of aspects of your life, though? Look out for people who you think maybe need a hand.
I definitely am a protector for sure, and I definitely stick up for folks that don't necessarily know how to stick up for themselves. Yeah, I just try to get people, try to make people feel comfortable, right? In any situation. Like if I can read energy pretty good, I can read people pretty good. Like if I know that person's feeling uncomfortable. Like let's say, boom, let's just have a light example of like someone came into a room and there was a bunch of people heckling them or like friendly heckling, or like, you can kind of chirp them and they know that they're talking about that person feels kind of uncomfortable, right? Then I'm going to go sit with that person.
You've always been like that?
Always
even
been
as
that person, yeah.
kid?
How you doing? You good? Yeah. Don't worry about them, cuz, it's all good, right? And a lot of times too, like, this might be a terrible thing, but I used to, I worked in trades for a long time, and a lot of ignorant folks in trades. A lot of ignorant people, like just chirping, saying stupidness, A lot of transphobic people in there, homophobic people in there. Anytime that anybody would talk about anytime anybody would attempt to bring up any type of like homophobic stuff, I would immediately look at them and be like, "Well, I'm gay. You got something to say about that?"
Just
You
to
know what I
see
mean?
how they react,
Yep.
and yeah.
And it would just basically it would either trip them up or give me a chance to really educate them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Do you find that a lot of people would be like, "Oh, but you're cool. You're cool." Yeah.
They think I'm joking,
Right.
but there has been that thing of like, yeah, oh yeah, well you're cool. I was like, well, cuz you like Prince? I always ask the question, you like Prince?
Nice. Yeah.
I love Prince. Well, then you have no business making fun of anybody else because
yeah. Exactly.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, my line is always like, "Oh, you like country music? Most of your favorite country songs are actually Broadway musical songs. So you love Broadway, dude."
hello,
Yeah.
keep it real.
Travis Tritt, Broadway, baby.
Hello.
Same thing.
I try to educate, but also make people. If it comes down to it and I need to, I will make someone feel uncomfortable to educate them.
Awesome. Oh, that's why that must be the energy I was drawn to you over. Because I do the same thing.
Yeah.
I love to push the human limit of what discomfort is. But also, just like, why are people so structured in their daily lives of mentality around certain
There's a
things?
lot of unlearning that got to be done.
Yes.
A lot
Yeah.
of unlearning. And
What are you unlearning these days?
Everything.
Unlearning. You're learning how to sing, so you must be unlearning something.
Yeah. So to break it, to go back to that, Arts Equity Grant got some money to get my vocal lessons up. So I learned. I went to a classically trained opera teacher coach.
And he's going to perform Ave Maria for us tonight. That's awesome.
My first coach, his name was Michael. His name is Michael Donovan. He's a professor at is it Acadia? Professor at Acadia, and I went to him, and he basically was like, he's like, I'm a classically trained opera singer, and I'm gonna basically teach you how I would train anybody else. So we went through 5 sessions. And because I want to know like what type of singer I was, like I don't necessarily know, and like and I figured this out through like recording and figuring out like what type of singer I am. All the music that I've ever put out, me singing, it wasn't my natural voice.
Interesting.
Yeah, mainly because I was either trying to imitate something or I was finding inspiration from something else, and I wanted to kind of be that. That's why Don't Trip is so hard for me to sing, because I'm not necessarily using my natural voice on that. And it took me to go to a teacher and be like, yo, this is your natural voice. This is how you should be singing. This is how you should be speaking, for me to really find out what that natural voice was. So Michael Donovan, he was like, sing me one of your tracks like that you think is your natural voice. I'm like, bro, like I can't even, because none of them are. So we figured out through going through his training that I'm a baritone singer.
Yeah.
With that I can kind of go a little bassy if I wanted to, but I can also be a tenor if I wanted to. And he told me, he's like, you operatically, classically, you can go tenor. And Lance, if you really wanted to, you could be a very, very good opera singer. And you can also go tenor, which like the tenor opera singers are the ones that make all the money. He said if you really wanted to, you could go there.
Wow.
And I'm not trying to teach you how to be a classically trained singer, but Lance, you have the voice for this type of work.
So your next album, you're just going to go full opera then,
Not without numerous hours of training.
Okay, yeah.
I do want to tap into it. Go ahead.
No. You want to tap into the opera?
Not right now. But I do want to tap into it. I want to, going through these lessons, Michael Donovan was the first, and then I went with and then after that I went to a speaking coach, a lady named Susan Stackhouse, because again, I've never really figured out what my natural speaking voice was, right? And because I'm a type of guy, if I'm in a room, I'm trying to match people's energies. I'm trying to match like the room. So like I'm very animated when I speak. Yeah, how you doing? That is my natural voice.
Yeah.
How I'm speaking to you right now is my natural voice.
Yeah.
And I got taught how to really hone in on that, how to use my voice properly, how to project it.
From the diaphragm?
From the
like
diaphragm.
those lessons? Okay.
And I didn't necessarily know what tapping into that diaphragm meant until I went to Michael Donovan. And like how and like to sit with it and feel what it is.
Yeah.
I had to go to Michael Donovan for that. So Susan Stackhouse, we went through a lot of work in terms of speaking naturally and getting ready to go on stage to kind of do something night after night after night and kind of decompressing after those things. A lot of breathing exercises, a lot of stretching.
You have breathing exercises you do when you come off stage?
Oh, yeah.
Wow. How
Yeah.
long are we talking?
Well, I mean, I did it right before I came up.
I know you're the only person I've ever seen order going. I'll have the beer or the IPA.
Yeah.
was
So
amazing.
that's me like getting my voice ready, but
Okay.
like right before I came up, as you were, doing your thug fizzle, I do this thing that I also use in boxing too. Is like where I would breathe in with my nose, like try to breathe in as much as I can, hold it for 5 seconds, let it go, and that brings my heart rate and my anxiety down. Super.
Nice. Okay, so a lot of it is controlling the body, not
Yeah.
just the voice.
Yeah.
Interesting. Oh.
So that's what I learned with Susan, and then from Susan I went to with a lady named Nicole Jordan, who's also an opera singer. And she said the exact same thing. She's like, Lance, you got a fucking serious opera voice. Like, you need to go into it, please.
Wow.
Basically begging me to go into it. And I was like,
Yeah.
not my style. I do like her. I do like what she was teaching me. She was teaching me certain things, like, because when you're doing classically trained stuff, they are very, very keen on the vowels, which is E, A, A, O, U. And
Those are the French ones, right?
we.
Nice. Sorry, go on. I don't know why.
And so she pointed out that like all my vowels are strong besides oo. Like I have a really hard time figuring out how to place my voice in my throat when it comes to the oos. And she taught me like just say shoo, just say shoo. That's what your oo should be.
Shoe.
Because I was doing a lot of ooh, but she was like, be more like ooh. And
It's come
I gave you a
naturally.
taste.
Yeah, give him a round of applause
Gave
for
you a
that.
taste.
That is a good opera voice. Wow.
So
Are you
my-
changing the keys of all your songs then? Did you find like, oh well, now I sing this like I'm actually going to sing this
No,
2 tones lower? Or?
I haven't changed anything that I do have. Like I just kind of still do it, but I just do it in a way where I use my stomach now,
Okay.
and I use the tools that they have taught me to be able to do it.
Your range is crazy, man.
I do have a serious range. I'm not trying to boast myself.
Honestly, when you started
Well,
up,
yeah,
I
I
looked at
gotta
the
go,
microphone
dog.
and I looked at the gauge here, and it like I had to just double back on everything because your voice is so powerful.
And that's exactly what why the my opera classically trained teachers like, yo, like you have a very powerful instrument.
Yeah.
Let's just try to hone in on that. And my next vocal lessons are going to be with an R&B singer, more like a gospel-y trained singer,
Cool.
someone who's more into that. Trying to hone in on that because my thing is I figured out what my natural voice is singing, and I just want to be able to do it easily.
Nice.
And I want to know that to tap into it rather than just like trying to grasp all these influences. I just want to be able to do it naturally and just do it.
Well, what was the first time you really sang? Like, were you singing along to records as a kid, kind of thing, or were you writing early on as a kid?
Yeah, so my favorite subject is English.
Okay.
And so I was always into keeping journals.
Nice.
I'd always write that way. I'd always write stories. I'd always write poetry when I was younger. Grew up in Spryfield, first 8 years, so like my first journals were from there. And like my first essays were out there, first like short stories. And I never really honed in on singing when I was in Spryfield. Like if I did do any singing, it was by myself. Like I didn't want people to hear.
Okay.
I didn't want people to, because I knew I was very loud. And like the houses that we grew up in are very small, and my mother has no patience.
For someone screaming
Yeah.
at the top of their lungs. Okay.
So I just I played that thing of like I didn't want to be a burden. So anytime I would sing, it was either I was in the woods by myself or I was in the shower just kind of singing.
When does music hit you? When do you first realize like this is what I'm gonna do?
When I was in jail.
Really, eh?
Yeah, man.
Like specifically performance or just like recording and making music?
Just not even recording. Like just I just knew that I was able to be someone else's light. I realized I was able to be like a light for people through me singing while I was in prison.
What did you see it in people's eyes when you sang, or did they come up to you afterwards and tell you how much joy they got from it? What was it that clicked?
So, I mean, I was like the first time I went to Burnside, I did 18 months what was it? It was the 18 months in Burnside for an arson.
That's a pretty quick spell. Yeah. Okay.
I almost got 14 years for it.
Wow.
Yeah, because I orchestrated a firebombing to 3 separate houses that I knew police were in watching us. Yes, this is dark stuff. I knew that the police were watching us, right? There was a group of us, like a group of kids that were just out there selling drugs. And I knew that the police were watching us, and I knew that they were in these houses, so I orchestrated a firebomb to each one of these houses at the exact same time, and I was right. We burnt down a lot of their equipment. Thankfully, no one got hurt.
Wow.
But the reason why they wanted to give me 14 years is because the houses that were being firebombed, all the attics were connected.
Okay.
And the smoke, the severity of the fires, the smoke could have went in those attics, and it could have hurt and killed people.
Right. So they wanted to put you on the hook.
They were like, we're looking at 14 years.
Yeah.
Thankfully, they gave me 18 months.
Yeah. Jeez, you'd still be in there right now.
I mean, they definitely the menace that I was at that time. They definitely had the right. If they would have gave me that, if I would have got 14 years, it would have been like, okay, whatever, let's go.
Interesting.
Because I was in that mind state. But when I was in Burnside, I was very like. I used my character and who I am as a person to my advantage, right?
Nice.
I had a little bit of rep in there, so like I could really just kind of be as crazy as I wanted to. Like I could make as much noise as I wanted to without nobody really, saying something to me. So I would just sing all day, right? And it was my way of finally being able to just do it. Right, because no one could say nothing to me. Right, I wasn't
right.
I didn't have my mother being like, "Cuz boy, shut up."
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I had dudes being like, "Man, I'm trying to sleep." I'm like, "I don't care."
Yeah, you have a built-in audience in there too.
Yeah, I'm just gonna sing. So like, I would do that, and I would look at the TV, and I'd look at all the videos. I'd write down music videos, and I'd just be in my cell, and I just would sing outside on the range, and people would be like, "Oh, like you got a voice. Like, do you know this song?" Yeah, I know that song. Cuz, can you sing that? Sure. Boom, just sing it.
Wow, so you were karaokeing for people.
Karaokeing, jukeboxing, like we would stay up like late night and just like people would just be like, "You know that song?" I'd be like, "Yeah, man."
Holy
I don't know
That's
every
cool.
single song. I would know like a hook. You know what I mean? I know like the chorus, like "Baby, when we're grinding."
Yeah, that's all they wanted to hear.
Yeah, I was like,
sing that chorus again. Put
I
me
get
to
so
sleep.
excited. I would just do that, and people like, "Oh yeah, that's my jam."
Is that too close?
Yeah.
You singing next too close? That's crazy.
Come on, cuzzy.
That's the one with the little where she sings about the bump in your pants, and I could feel the bump in your pants, right?
Yeah. Baby, you're dancing so close, ain't nothing I did, 'cause I'ma want you now and here, the way that you shake it on me.
Those vocal lessons are bang off,
so
man.
bad sexually.
By the way, can you please go to back to those teachers, those vocal teachers, and be like, yes, I've written my first opera, and it's based on Next, Too Close. It's the next opera.
Baby, when we're grown. No.
I do that all the time at home with songs, like Friends songs. Admittedly, I sing Friends lyrics in opera voice because it just
Yeah. It
elevates.
It warms up your vocals in a way where I was like, it's insane what classical teachings can really help shape your vocals healthily. Like I could do that E-A-I-O-U shit 5 times and like I could really be like ready to go.
Wow.
Like when I was warming up, I was using this thing called the singing straw.
What is that?
So yeah, it's called a singing straw. And what it basically does is you just do like your runs and riffs and like your vowel placements and stuff within this. So like
It's just a little metallic straw.
And that will instantly put enough pressure and enough like strain and stuff on your voice where it just allows you to be ready to sing. And I just kind of trained my confidence while I was in there. And I knew that I had something to give people when the first time I went to the hole, which would be considered solitary confinement because I was being crazy.
Okay.
I went down the hole, and I was down there with about 8 guys that have been in there for months, like have just been in there losing their absolute minds. And there was a dude that I knew from my community who was down there, and I could tell that it was really fucking his head up, man. Like, he was down there for so long where, like, he would hallucinate, he would cry for no reason because he felt like he was seeing ghosts and shit. And, like, when I sang to him in the vents, because, like, the vents were all connected, and I could literally talk to you like this, and you could hear me, like, 7 rows down, and I would just sing, and he would just be like, man, that's all I need right now. You know what I mean? So, like, that's how I knew I had something to give people. And I didn't, and I went to Spring Hill, and mind you, I came home from Burnside not necessarily a changed person. Like, I was very keen on coming home and getting right back into it because of just the connections I made in there. But a goal that I had set for myself when I came home, it just didn't work out. So I was like, you know what, fuck that, I'm going to go back to school. And when I went to school to kind of get my last couple of credits, I would meet friends at Flexible Learning Education Center that really allowed me to be my true authentic self, right? Because I grew up in Uniacke Square, and I was not allowed to be anything outside of a tough, rugged motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So, like, when I finally got out of those environments, like Uniacke Square and Burnside, and just kind of went outside of the community, was hanging with a lot of these different adults from different walks of life, like, it allowed me to truly be who I am as a person. And I got a taste of that. And right when I got a taste of that, and I was like, so like, oh, I'm ready for this, like, ended up going through school, being valedictorian of that school. And then 3 days before I was writing my last exam, I got a 5-year prison sentence.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Really?
So I got taken out of that, went to Spring Hill, had to go sit down a little bit again to really think about what it is that I was trying to be, who I was as a person. And
Dang.
And then that's where I actually wrote my first couple of guitar tracks. Where actually, if you don't mind, I'm actually going to get into another one.
Yes. Do it. Do it. Is this your last song that you know?
I mean, I got one more.
Okay,
after
good,
this,
good,
if
good.
we're still
Please.
here.
Yep,
If you guys are done hearing me talk shit, please don't feel obligated. Yeah. So this one. This is one when I actually went in for that 5-year sentence. I didn't do 5 years straight, mind you. Only did like 19 months of that because I got in there. I had 2 uncles pass away while I was in there. I had a Hep C scare when I was in there too. Spring Hill, like they took my blood work and they were like, we had to do another set of blood work because it seems like Hep C is actually in your bloodstream somewheres. Woo! Was I scared to death? I tell you right now, my whole life flashed before my eyes. I was like, what? Like, and it made sense. I was like, fuck, I was down there just being stupid, like fighting every 5 seconds and like just not being super sanitary with shit and just fucking, everything was just like, oh, like all the bad decisions just kind of came up to me. And then they did another blood work test. And they basically came back to me and said, Lance, got to tell you something. You are lucky. I was like, why do you say that? He's like, because only 10% of people who get Hep C, like, exposed to their blood, only 10% of people fight it off, and you're the 10%.
Dang. You got strong blood.
You better fucking believe it. So, yeah, in there, man, a lot of eye-opening shit, grew a lot. I was very thankful for that time because I actually got to spend time with a lot of folks that I've never seen in a long time. A lot of folks from my community that are doing it a long, long time. I actually got to spend time with them and actually see who they are as men.
Wow. Get some of their wisdom.
Yeah, and picked up a guitar for the first time in there. Not for the first time, but to really sit with it and try to figure it out. And the first song I wrote picking up that guitar was a song that actually won 2018 CBC Searchlight.
Hey now.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I blame it, I shouldn't say I blame it, but I attribute it to just my story. You know what I mean? Because CBC loves a story. And when they figured out that, oh, fuck, this motherfucker wrote this song while he was in jail, yeah, let's give it to him.
Yeah.
So this one's called Sure. And I just wrote it. I was very lonely, and I just wanted to kind of write and kind of just express to my partner at the time how much I care for her, and how much I wanted this to work, and how much I am changing through being within this system, and I just want to kind of show you, just kind of come home and give you that dick.
You
Sorry if there's
sweet
any
man.
kids interested.
You're so sweet.
I'm sorry, guys. I got a couple IPAs in me. Let me hold your hand until you can't feel no longer. I can be your friend, I can be your love. All I wanna do is hold you, all I wanna be is there. And if you need a shoulder, together we can face our fears. I play you this song, cause it's a pleasure just to call you my lady. And if the tables were turned, I wouldn't have to think about waiting. Hold me close, I won't ever run away. I'm so sure of us. You can be sure that, 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 you can be sure. Let me feel your scars, I wanna hear you tell me their story. And when it comes to my heart, I know you'll keep it warm, I don't worry. Whenever I am lost, I just look into your eyes. And whatever the cost, I'll tell you the truth, oh, through the highs and the lows, and throughout every mistake I learned, this river will flow, and the fire will continue to burn. Hold me close, I won't ever run away, I'm so sure of us. You can be sure that, 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 you can be sure that. Let me hold your hand until you can't feel no longer. I can be your friend, I can be your love. I can be your lover, 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 I can be your lover. I'm trying different shit. I can be your lover, I can be your love. Let me try to get it. I can be your love. 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 Thank you for letting me try new shit. I'm not the greatest guitar player, but we can make shit happen. So yeah, that song was written. I went from Spring Hill, which is a medium security prison, to Dorchester Minimum, which is called The Farm, which is in Dorchester, and it's Dorchester Penitentiary. Connected to it, like when you go outside of the walls, it's called The Farm, which used to be called FKA The Farm. It's now called Dorchester Minimum, and it's a jail where you can actually, there's no, like, you could leave if you wanted to.
Oh.
Right? You're not supposed to. Please don't.
Yeah.
But like, if you were tempted to and you really wanted to, you could leave. But it's a minimum security because this is where they test you to see if you're actually ready to be reintegrated back into society. And I feel like I was ready because maybe like 2 out of 5 people that stay there are child molesters.
Whoa.
So you are being tested to the max. You can't touch these people. They're actually treated like gold there. They think it's a mental. I don't want to get into it.
Wow.
But yeah, I wrote Shore during that time when I was in.
Do you have a lot to say about the prison system and how it can be reformed in some ways, and like having been through it?
Reform, like, do you mean like it can be...
Reform is such a gross word because they use it to whittle away at it, but how it can be improved, like, because there's so many oversights in the system and people end up just stuck in the system, say.
Yeah, I mean, so they do offer a lot of program, right? There's a lot of stuff in there. Like, mind you, I went in there, provincial jails, they don't necessarily offer a lot of program. Like, and provincial kind of sucks because there's like a tier system where it's like if you get sentenced to 2 years less a day, you do your time in provincial jails, which there's not a lot of programs, and you're basically stuck on your unit with a bunch of dudes, and it can be very, very, very dark and just monotonous because you're just like, you're stuck in a unit that's this big with 24 people, you know what I mean? And by this big, I just mean this side of this establishment.
The size of the room, which is like 25, 50 by 10.
Yeah, and just think about being stuck in this for 2 years with 24 people that stink.
Yeah.
And they're farting every day.
I can't imagine getting stuck in here tonight.
Yeah, it would suck. But we got Joe and we got Connor, so we're good.
True, we can make things happen, yeah.
But yeah, so when you get into federal prisons, like mediums and stuff, they offer a lot of programs. Like they had like a instrument rental program there. Cool. You could go to work, right? You're only getting paid, like, I don't know if it's changed, but you're only getting paid $3.10 a week or a day, sorry. But you know, the food is marked down a lot in there, so you get a lot with the money that you get every 2 weeks.
Okay.
But yeah, like they offer, like, you know, trade skills. Like you can get WMIS, you can get your fall arrest, and you can get all that stuff to kind of prepare you for the trades in there. You can work in trade-centric jobs. Like you can be a plumber there, you can be an electrician, there's a lot of stuff offered there. Like you can go to school there, you can get university credits. Like you can, if you really just hone in on what they're offering you, yeah, you could learn a lot. Like you can come out of that.
Make the best out of it.
Yeah, you can make the best out of it. You can do the time and not let the time do you.
Nice.
But if you're in there and you're getting involved in the politics, be careful.
Okay.
Yeah. So
word to the wise.
Yeah, my thing was like I tried to make sure any new person come in or even that was there for a while is just like get yourself out of that fucking politics, right? Because it doesn't work, man. I got homies, man, like would go in with 7-month sentences and I haven't seen them yet. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, they just get stuck.
going with 7-month sentences and end up with 14-year, 15-year sentences, like, because they get themselves into the politics. They're built for that shit. They want to be involved in that, but it's just like it can happen that quick. As soon as you put your hands on a guard, that's 2 years, an extra 2 years. As soon as you get caught with a knife, or as soon as you get caught with a lighter, 6 months. So it racks up. So I just try to tell people, like, just try to get yourself out of the politics, exercise, eat as much as you can properly, and just do everything that they're offering to you. Like, I got a bricklaying course in there. Like, you know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah.
You're such a good role model. Like, I know. Well, it's crazy that, in society sense, like, oh yeah, in prison you're the perfect role model. But it's true, you are a great role model, man, and you came out of that system just saying the most positive shit. Like, I gotta say, as a bitter musician in the music scene, you are the most positive person in it. And
Straight up.
And seeing you do your thing, go to festivals, go to award shows, fucking A, you deserve it, man.
Thank you.
You deserve it. I've never met anybody that I would say that more about, but you're giving everything back. And it'll only come back to you.
It'll only come back to you.
Oh, fuck. That song is always in my head, man. Like,
Pay it forward,
repeat,
pay it forward.
repeat.
You know
Thank you.
where that came from? Like that term, where it comes from?
Where?
I got it from the movie Pay It Forward.
Really?
Yeah.
That
Have you
movie-
guys seen the movie Pay It Forward?
Yes. That movie fucked with me.
Oh my gosh.
Especially because I was like, what is wrong with that guy's face? And is he a molester? I don't know. Does he want to eat
He was all
Haley
burnt
Joel
up.
Osment? Yeah.
Kevin
As a-
Spacey was all burnt out.
As
in
a
that
kid,
movie.
I was like, there's something really wrong with this guy. I don't know if he is going to
I
pay
was
it
like,
forward.
Should I ask what's wrong with his face?
Yeah.
Terrible.
No, but
It's sad at the end of that movie, though.
yes.
'Cause
Great
he does-
movie. Great movie. Go
yeah.
watch it if you haven't seen it. But
He
then
does-
listen to the song.
Yeah. So that's kind of where that inspiration comes from. And basically, I mean, it also comes from because when I was in Spring Hill, I was very like, okay, I got to figure something out here. So I
Okay.
attempted religion, which was Buddhism.
Oh.
Yeah, I tried that for a little bit. I called myself a black Shaolin monk.
Oh, yeah. Did
Yeah.
you join Wu-Tang as well while you were at it?
No.
Okay.
But what I did is I practiced Buddhism for a year. And by practicing, all I mean is that I read the books.
Mm-hmm.
And I shaved my head off, bald, but I kept the rat tail.
That's so modern. Yeah, that's so modern monk of you. Yeah.
I kept the rat tail, and what that rat tail symbolized for me was what that change for me was I shaved all my hair. I put that old Lance behind me, that nickname, that old street shit, that all that politics behind me. I shaved off all my hair. I kept my rat tail, and I told myself, when my sentence is done, I'm going to cut that rat tail off to kind of end that journey. So after my 5 years, my 5 years ended August 10th, 2000. Basically, it was like 6 months after Georgina was born.
Okay.
So it wasn't August 10th. Georgina's birthday is August 10th, but it was 6 months after Georgina was born, and as soon as that time was there and I expired, that's what they call it, I shaved it right off. I still have it.
I was going to ask you, you do, eh?
I still have it. Yeah.
As a like in a drawer somewhere.
Yeah. Just
Are you going to give
collected.
that to your kids?
No.
This
But
is
I-
Daddy's rat tail from his monk period.
I what? This is when your father was weird.
Yeah. I also wrote you an album. It's called Legacy, and it comes with a rat tail.
Sorry. No, it's great. That wasn't like a look of like a disappointment. That was like, I like that idea.
I was friggin' intimidated when you looked at me like that.
No,
Yeah,
that's a great. I was thinking of actually getting it like gold tinted.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Case it in glass. Encase it in a cube so
Yeah.
that they can have it. Wow.
Yeah.
Shit, man, seriously. Like, that's such a story. I had no idea. You know?
no idea that I had a rat tail.
Especially that you had a rat tail. That's actually the pinnacle of the story. But no, I didn't know your story. Like, and a couple people told me, man, Lance has an amazing story. So, but I didn't want to know too much about you before getting to know you tonight. So, again, considering you started the night with like heavy shit about your family legacy and digging through your ancestry.
Yep.
And then we've gone all the way through to your experience in prison and how you came out of it.
Yep.
What do you want to do now? What's your dream for the Halifax scene, man? What are you gonna do? Because other than eating chicken wings and hot sauce
Buddy,
on stage with me, pal.
This sauce is absolutely undeniable.
Andy wins. Yeah, that's crazy hot sauce. It's such good hot sauce, man. Kudos to our sponsors, Maritime Madness and Nurple, but Andy, in-house at Union Street, has the best hot sauce.
Buddy, this is whacking.
Can't stop.
Main thing what I wanted to do, what I wanted to establish and kind of bring back when I came into the music scene in Halifax, and shout out to my brother, Matthew Johnson, who put a battery pack in my back to be like, yo, you need to do this, right? The last song I'm going to sing tonight is the song that he basically gave me the go-ahead to go do. Like, to be like, yo, you need to do this, right?
Great.
The song's called Safe, and we'll get into that afterwards. But he, basically when I came into the scene, I noticed, especially in Halifax, and it still kind of is, how segregated it was. Not in terms of race, but in terms of like groups, like genres.
Genres and shit?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like all the punk kids are over here, and like the rock kids are over here, and like they don't mingle with each other. And there's not a lot of black faces performing at the Seahorse or the Marquee.
Yeah.
Right. Albeit it being like right next to like a prominent black community, Uniacke Square, there wasn't a lot of black performers coming in, especially from that neighborhood. I shouldn't say there wasn't a lot of black performers, but from that neighborhood at the time. So me coming into it, I felt how segregated it was, and I was like, I'm coming in. I want to come into this and bring it back together, right? I want to come in with an open heart and an open arms, and bring us back to actually playing with each other and talking with another about what we're dealing with. So I basically would pick, okay, you're from the punk scene. Oh, you play indie rock. Okay, yeah, you're a jazz guy. You're this, and I'd be like, okay, you guys are playing with me now.
Cool.
You know what I'm saying? And like my first show that I did at the Seahorse, the first show that I did, and I actually had the courage to sing, was at a venue that's no longer with us.
That's a nice way to put it.
That's so funny when you say that. A venue that's no longer with us called Line and Bright.
Oh yeah.
An organization called Youth Art Connection put on a show, and they asked me to be a part of it, and they offered me $50, and I never ever got it.
To be young again.
Yeah, I never ever got it. So I came through, and honestly, when I first started coming into the game and performing, like I needed a lot of alcohol to figure that shit out.
Just to get the confidence to get up
Just
there?
to get the confidence, and I knew I was going into a serious pattern because my mother tends to, she drinks, like alcoholism runs in my family on the women's side, like my mother, grandmother, like it really engulfs the ladies in my family. And I noticed I was, as I take a drink.
Well, you took the tiniest sip, the most responsible sip possible. Yeah.
It's so like I noticed I was going into this pattern of needing that alcohol to kind of be on stage. And the first time I performed, it was probably maybe in front of maybe 100 people, and just like I got a really big standing ovation, and it made me very emotional because I wasn't expecting my art to really touch people in that way. Because like everybody else that performed, everyone was like, kind of like, they're rappers.
Yeah.
I was gonna sit our wine, but I actually got up and kind of shocked them with me singing, and they were just like, "What the fuck?"
Because you're so truthful too. I imagine they weren't expecting to.
They were not expecting that at all. So that opened up an opportunity for me to perform for the first time at the Seahorse with a band called Husband and Knife and Rabies. Husband and Knife was kind of, I don't really necessarily know what their genre is, but I know Rabies was like super indie rock, right?
Okay.
And that's where I met a really good friend of mine to this day, Jeremy Costello, who plays synth in that band, but also did background vocals for that band, and I listened to Jeremy sing. Angel, like Angel. I was like, because I've never heard. I just never heard a voice like that come from a masculine-looking person. You know what I'm saying? I then, after that, realized that Jeremy uses they/them pronouns, so I never use man again. I mean, I still fuck up every now and then. We're humans. But Jeremy, I just fell in love with Jeremy's voice, and Jeremy also, and it was my first time because I knew I strategically did this. I knew that Matthew Good was playing at the Marquee next week,
yeah,
so I did an Apparitions cover by Matthew Good.
Nice.
Yeah, like I produced it. I played the guitar. I fucking made the beat, backing track. I just was like, I'm doing this. And Jeremy came up to me afterwards and was like, "Cuz, who is this huge, beautiful black man singing their heart out? Apparitions by Matthew Good."
Yeah.
And then Jeremy came up to me and was like, "Cuz, can I give you a hug?" And I was like, "Yes, I would love to hug you." And then from that, it solidified this thing of like any musician that I meet, it's hugs. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not like, "Hey, how you doing?" It's just like I've always gave out straight up hugs. It's COVID time now. If you want a hug, I'll give you a hug. But I just want to come into the game and embrace with that hug. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people look at me, especially coming in, they're like, fuck, like, very intimidated, right? So I want to kind of really break down that intimidation, just kind of bring people into that and make them feel my chest.
That's yeah. I mean, you're inviting the entire Halifax music scene into your big, beautiful chest.
Yeah, and I wanted to break down those barriers, right? I want to break down that and just kind of just bring people back to just talking to each other again.
Nice.
Right?
Yeah.
So when I would play these shows and like folks would come and anybody who would be like, "Cuz, like, that was sick," and I'd be like, "Okay, what type of music you play?" "Oh, I do this." "Okay, well then you're coming with me." "What type of music you play?" "Yep."
You don't have any boundaries then.
No, I'd just be like, "Cuz we're gonna show people how we can be together."
Amazing.
So that's how that was my like start of like the Aquakultre band, is bringing folks from like different genres and walks of life and like kind of bringing in, and it's not necessarily like a certain group or a certain set. It's like I think when it comes to the Aquakultre band, like I kind of keep it more of like a collective of musicians from different backgrounds, and like they're just bringing their artistic flair to it, and and backing what I got to say up. You know what I'm saying?
You're limitless, man. You're limitless. You'll never be bound by any genre or any title, I feel like, because
No, I think we can do it all.
That's beautiful, man.
I'm writing country songs and shit.
Bring it on, yeah. Please.
I mean, what we're kind of working on
inevitable.
now is like I'm working with 2B Theater now. We're working on a show with them. Probably gonna put out a new album this year, which I'm trying to thematically make it very specific to. I want to go back in time. I want to bring it back to like when the Black Loyalists first came over here, 1783.
Wow.
I want to go back to that era and kind of really.
So you're gonna have like fifes and like standing drums and.
We're gonna get crazy with it. Basically,
Cool.
I want this album to kind of touch and bring to the forefront just certain struggles, ups, good, bad, and ugly struggles and stories, specific stories of the black settlements of Nova Scotia.
Shit, yeah. What a cool project, man.
And it's something. It's basically like I'm writing songs about communities. I'm writing songs about like certain things, conversations that we're having within our communities, not just with the conversations that we're having, but the conversations that we're not having. Kind of bring that to the music and experiment with how to bring that to music.
Cool show idea. Wow. I can't wait to see how that
Now, mind you, that's different from the 2B Theater thing.
Okay.
2B Theater thing is different from this album that I'm working on.
Okay.
But it's like it's kind of like there's themes within the both of them that kind of would connect, and like they're able to be marketed together.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
they're influencing each other. Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like I should call this? I feel
Shut
like
it down?
I feel like we're getting late. So, I'm all hot sauced up. I'm spicy. I'm sweaty.
I see you sweating over there.
Yeah, big time, man. I had to grab all of the napkins I could find. But I did want to give you a chance to say some words about Safe before you play the song, because I
Word.
feel like maybe you should play it out and we'll call that a night. But if there was anything you wanted to say specifically about the song, and actually while you're chewing, I'm going to just take the opportunity to say thank you. Thank you big time for doing this. Thanks for coming all the way up for the city. I hope you get the chance to come back here to Berwick again. This town will love you. I opened for Classified once here, and I had no business opening for Class. Like, I got up and yodeled and played kazoo, and they were like, "What the fuck is this?" But I know that there's a sweet audience around Berwick for like wicked, lovely hip hop, and especially local great music. So thank you for building community, and I hope you can build it out here as well. And I just can't wait to see everything from you in the future, man. You're doing so much for this province, for your people. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mean it.
I mean, it doesn't work without a strong team. You know what I'm saying? And the team I carry with me, what I take with me everywhere as I go, it's family. So it takes family to do everything you do. So shout out to your family.
Yeah.
Shout out to your family. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hug him and kiss him.
If you find yourself with the courage to do something that you're like, oh, fuck, I never think I'd do this, it's because of your family. So thank them. So yeah, Safe
Please.
it's long. It's kind of like a ballad, right? That's the right word for that?
I think so. Ballad?
Yeah.
Yes, there it is. That's the proper word.
So this song Safe is a song that I wrote when I was with an ex-partner of mine. And it was a song that I wrote through discovering an empty, reverberated, concrete, huge room in the building that I helped clean, called the Nova Center in Halifax. I discovered this room and I went into it and I was like, woo! And it just went, woo! I was like, whoa! Whoa! And it just immediately started sparking lyrics. But the reason why it sparked lyrics is because me and my ex would fight all the time. Like it wasn't like healthy at all. And I realized pretty quickly that we weren't great for one another. And I had to break that down to her. I had to listen, because we spark each other's anger so much. This is not going to work. You are bringing the worst out of me. I am bringing the worst out of you. We need to separate. And it took a while for us to figure that out, but it happened. But I wrote this song Safe, and the lyrics kind of didn't make much sense to me in terms of that relationship, right? I think what sparked the lyrics was that constant fighting, and it reminded me of the fighting that me and my mother used to do.
Okay, that's deep.
Not on a, fuck.
Oedipus. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not a farmer, Jesus.
You just pissed off half of my listener base.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But I just kind of realized over the years that Safe is actually a song for my mother. And just sitting with all the stuff that I put my mother through. And yeah, when I really, really sat with it, years, it took years and years to really figure out that this song might actually be my true feelings towards the relationship that me and my mother have. It's because it's really rocky. It's getting a lot better now, but it still kind of is rocky.
Is it changing as a parent?
Yeah,
I
think there's a lot more a lot more boundaries now that I'm a parent, but there's also a lot of understanding to her, in how she is, and how she parented us. Now knowing how fucking hard it is. Like, Jesus, Murphy. Sorry, Mom. Like,
Right.
fuck. Yeah, so, yeah, this last song we're getting into is called Safe. I'm going to get into it. Fuck it. Very simple. And I know I've been fucking up the game. I see you working and just wanna see the same, babe. Oh, I know there's things about me that I need to change. But then I wonder, is it gonna be the same, babe? Me and my mother call each other babe. And lately you've been feeling I don't give a damn about you. Cause when we argue, quick to tell you I don't care about you. I keep all my feelings deep inside, darling. I can't seem to let go of my pride, darling. Just promise me you'll try to stay with me. And if I go away to say you'll wait for me. This might not be about my mother. I didn't need your body here to lay with me. But when I think about it, yes, because my mother used to lay with me when I was younger, right? And I'd feel safe, you know what I'm saying? Just trying to make you understand that you're safe with me. And I know I've been putting you through hell. I say I love you, babe, but you can never tell. I've been fighting demons every day, baby. But you should know that I ain't never gone away, baby. And I just need to hear you say you're right for me. And if they make you take this stand, you're gonna lie for me. And when I call you, you drop everything and slide on me. And I'll be by your side until you die on me. Just promise me you'll try to stay with me. And if I go away to say I'm trying to make you understand that you're saving me. We don't have to be in love. We don't have to be in love. We don't have to be in love. We don't have to be in love, love, love. On me, baby. On me, baby. Yeah.
There's no auto-tune on that beautiful voice, ladies and gentlemen. That is Lance Sampson, Aquakultre. Keep it going. Thank you, Lance.